When you grow old, how to never get angry or bothered by anyone. As the years pass and life grants us the gift of age, we often find ourselves looking back on the moments that shaped us, both the joyous ones and the trials we endured. Yet, in our later years, a pressing question may arise. How can we let go of anger and find peace in a world that often tests our patience? The beauty of growing older is the clarity that comes with it. We've learned that life is too precious to spend burdened by anger or annoyance, but breaking free from these emotions isn't always easy. This guide draws on timeless wisdom, especially from the ancient philosophy of Stoicism, to offer practical, heartfelt advice for embracing tranquility, no matter what life throws your way. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. Accept life as it is. Life, in all its complexity and unpredictability, often unfolds in ways that defy our expectations. We make plans, hold on to hopes, and set goals, only to find that fate takes us in entirely different directions. This truth becomes clearer as we age, and while it can be a source of frustration, it can also become the foundation of our deepest peace. To accept life as it is, not as we wish it to be, is to open ourselves to its full beauty, its lessons, and its gifts. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to a passive existence. It means acknowledging that life will always contain a mix of joy and sorrow, triumph and disappointment, ease and challenge. It's the understanding that while we may not control every event, we can control how we respond to it. This is where our true power lies. Imagine a day when everything seems to go wrong, appointments are delayed, a cherished item breaks, or someone's thoughtless words sting. The natural reaction might be to feel defeated or angry, as if life itself is conspiring against you. But what if, instead of resisting these moments, you embrace them as part of the ebb and flow of existence? What if you said to yourself, "This too is part of my journey"? In that acceptance, the burden of frustration begins to lift, and you find the strength to move forward. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny for what could more aptly fit your needs." These words remind us that even the difficulties we face carry meaning. Perhaps they teach us patience, resilience, or gratitude. Perhaps they lead us to unexpected opportunities or moments of growth. By accepting life as it is, we stop fighting against its natural flow and begin to find peace within it. This mindset is especially powerful in our relationships. How often do we wish that others were different, more attentive, more understanding, or more like us? Yet, the truth is that each person is shaped by their own experiences, struggles, and choices. When we accept others for who they are, rather than who we think they should be, we free ourselves from unnecessary disappointment and create space for deeper connection. Acceptance also extends to ourselves. As we grow older, we may notice changes in our bodies, minds, or abilities that we wish weren't there. It's easy to focus on what we've lost rather than what remains. But to truly accept life is to honor the person we are today, imperfections and all. It's to say, "I am enough just as I am." When you accept life as it is, you begin to see its imperfections not as flaws, but as part of its charm. A rainy day that disrupts plans becomes an opportunity to slow down and reflect. A missed opportunity becomes a chance to explore a new path. Acceptance transforms obstacles into stepping stones and challenges into invitations to grow. In this way, it is not a surrender, it is a triumph. 2. Let go of judgment. Judgment is a reflex that often clouds our ability to see the world clearly. It arises in the small moments of daily life. A stranger cuts in line, a neighbor speaks sharply, or a family member forgets an important occasion. In an instant, we label them rude, careless, or selfish. But as we grow older and wiser, we begin to see that these judgments do more harm to us than to anyone else. They weigh down our hearts and rob us of peace. To let go of judgment is to unburden ourselves and to approach life with curiosity and compassion. Letting go of judgment doesn't mean ignoring others' actions or excusing behavior that is truly harmful. It means recognizing that what we see is only a small part of the story. Every person we encounter is carrying burdens, fighting battles, or navigating struggles we cannot see. When we judge them based on a single moment, we overlook the complexity of their humanity. Think of a time when someone acted in a way that frustrated or hurt you. Perhaps it was a friend who canceled plans at the last minute, or a driver who slowed you down on the road. The instinctive reaction might have been to think, how inconsiderate. But what if you had paused and asked, what might they be going through that I don't know about? Maybe your friend was overwhelmed by personal challenges, or the driver was navigating unfamiliar roads. By letting go of judgment, you replace irritation with understanding and find peace where there was once frustration. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "You always have the option of having no opinion." This doesn't mean shutting off your thoughts. It means choosing not to let every moment demand a reaction. When you let go of the need to label or criticize, you create space for calm and clarity. You allow yourself to see the world not through the lens of expectation, but through the eyes of acceptance. This practice is especially transformative in our closest relationships. When we judge a loved one, we often project our own expectations onto them. A spouse who forgets to take out the trash isn't uncaring, they're human. A grandchild who doesn't call as often as we'd like isn't neglectful. They're navigating the busy rhythms of their own life. By letting go of judgment, we strengthen these relationships and create room for understanding and forgiveness. Letting go of judgment also applies to how we see ourselves. How often do we criticize ourselves for not being enough? Not patient enough, strong enough, or capable enough. These judgments are some of the heaviest burdens we carry. But just as we extend compassion to others, we can offer it to ourselves. We can say, I am doing my best, and that is enough. To let go of judgment is to embrace the world as it is, not as we think it should be. It is to see each person, including ourselves, as a work in progress, shaped by joys and sorrows, triumphs and struggles. It is to approach life with an open heart and an open mind, free from the weight of unnecessary criticism. The next time you find yourself forming a judgment, whether about a stranger, a loved one, or yourself, pause and ask, is this thought helping me, or is it holding me back? In that moment, you have the power to let it go. And in letting it go, you free yourself to live with greater kindness, understanding, and peace. 3. Embrace imperfection. Life, in all its forms, is inherently imperfect, and it is within this imperfection that its true beauty resides. As we grow older, we often reflect on the ways we've pursued perfection, whether in our relationships, our achievements, or even ourselves. Yet, time teaches us that the quest for flawlessness is both exhausting and unattainable. To embrace imperfection is not to settle. It is to celebrate the authenticity of life as it is, to find peace in the cracks, and to recognize that it is these very flaws that make life meaningful. Think of the people you cherish most. It is not their perfection that draws you to them, but their unique qualities, quirks, and even their vulnerabilities. A grandchild's uneven smile in a photo, a spouse's forgotten anniversary, or a friend's sometimes clumsy words. These are not failures. They are reminders that humanity is built on imperfection, and it is in accepting these imperfections that love and connection deepen. The same applies to the world around us. Imagine a tree standing tall in a forest. Its bark may be rough, its branches uneven, and its leaves weathered by the seasons. Yet it stands as a testament to life's endurance. Perfection would render it sterile, devoid of its character. Similarly, life's beauty lies in its unpredictability and rough edges. A rainstorm that interrupts a picnic, a meal that doesn't turn out as planned, or a delayed trip. All these moments, while imperfect, carry the potential for laughter, growth, and unexpected joy if we choose to embrace them. When we resist imperfection, whether in others, in ourselves, or in life, we create tension and disappointment. We may criticize ourselves for not being as strong, as capable, or as accomplished as we once were. But this inner judgment only dims the light of the present. To embrace imperfection is to approach life with gentleness, both toward yourself and others. It's a recognition that mistakes and missteps are not signs of failure, but of growth, resilience, and the courage to continue. A powerful metaphor for this perspective is found in the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold, making the cracks not only visible but beautiful. The repaired piece becomes more valuable because of its imperfections, not in spite of them. Similarly, our lives, with their trials, scars, and moments of uncertainty, are enriched by these experiences. They are what make us unique and whole. Embracing imperfection also means forgiving, not only others, but also yourself. There will always be moments when we wish we had done things differently, spoken kinder words, or made wiser choices. But to dwell on these moments is to hold ourselves captive. Instead, we can choose to see them as stepping stones, necessary parts of the journey that have brought us to where we are today. When you let go of the need for perfection, you open yourself to life's fullness. You begin to see the beauty in a messy home filled with laughter, the grace in a flawed conversation that leads to understanding, and the joy in a day that doesn't go as planned. Life does not need to be perfect to be wonderful. It simply needs to be lived with an open heart, willing to embrace its imperfections as part of its charm. 4. Release the need for control. There is a quiet strength in learning to release the need for control. As we age, we come to understand that life's greatest challenges often arise not from the events themselves, but from our resistance to them. We try to bend life to our will, to shape outcomes, and to dictate how others should act. But this desire for control only leads to frustration, as the world, in its infinite complexity, refuses to conform to our demands. To release control is to find freedom. It is to flow with life rather than against it, trusting that peace comes not from mastery over the external, but from harmony within. Imagine sitting in traffic, your plans delayed by circumstances entirely out of your hands. You could spend that time fuming, resenting every red light and every slow car ahead of you. Or you could take a deep breath and accept the delay as part of the journey. You might use the time to listen to music, reflect on your thoughts, or simply enjoy the rare pause in a busy day. The traffic doesn't change, but your experience of it does. This is the power of releasing control. It transforms moments of frustration into opportunities for calm. Control often feels most elusive in our relationships. We want our loved ones to make better choices, to listen to our advice, or to live in ways that align with our values. But every person has their own path, their own lessons to learn, and their own timing. When we let go of the need to control others, we give them the freedom to grow and ourselves the freedom to let go of worry. Instead of trying to change them, we can focus on being a source of support and understanding. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words remind us that true control lies not in dominating the world around us, but in mastering our inner world. When we shift our focus from trying to control outcomes to controlling our responses, we discover a resilience that no external circumstance can shake. Releasing control doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means recognizing what is within your power and what is not. It's the wisdom to know the difference between what you can change, your actions, your words, your mindset, and what you cannot, other people's choices, the passage of time, or the unpredictability of life. It's about directing your energy toward what truly matters and letting the rest unfold as it will. Consider the metaphor of a river. You cannot stop the current or change its direction, but you can choose how to navigate it. You can fight against it, exhausting yourself in the process, or you can steer your boat with care, allowing the flow to carry you forward. Life is much the same. By releasing control, you conserve your energy for the things that truly matter, your inner peace, your relationships, and your ability to adapt to whatever comes. This practice is especially meaningful in times of uncertainty. The future, by its very nature, is unknown, and trying to predict or control it only leads to anxiety. Instead, focus on preparing yourself mentally and emotionally to face whatever comes. Trust in your ability to handle challenges, not because you can control them, but because you can grow through them. Releasing the need for control is not a sign of weakness. It is an act of profound strength and wisdom. It allows you to live with greater ease, to focus on what truly matters, and to find peace in the present moment. When you let go, you don't lose anything. You gain everything. 5. Take responsibility for your emotions. As we move through life, it becomes increasingly clear that our emotions are not dictated by the world around us, but by the way we choose to interpret and respond to it. To take responsibility for your emotions is to acknowledge a profound truth. No one else can make you angry, sad, or frustrated unless you allow it. This isn't about denying or suppressing feelings. It's about recognizing that your emotional well-being lies in your own hands. Imagine someone saying something unkind or dismissive. The immediate reaction might be anger or hurt, a sense of indignation rising as you think, how could they treat me this way? But pause for a moment and ask yourself, does their behavior define my worth, or am I allowing their words to dictate how I feel? By shifting your perspective, you reclaim your power. Their words remain the same, but your response changes. Instead of anger, you may feel pity for their rudeness, or simply let the moment pass without allowing it to disturb your peace. Taking responsibility for your emotions means recognizing that the external world is beyond your control. What you can control is your inner world, your thoughts, your interpretations, and your reactions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words hold the key to emotional freedom. By focusing on what lies within, you free yourself from being a victim of external circumstances. This practice is not about ignoring injustice or pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing your battles wisely and deciding where to invest your energy. For instance, if someone cuts you off in traffic, you could stew in anger for the rest of the day, replaying the moment in your mind. Or you could let it go, recognizing that holding on to the irritation only hurts you, not the other driver. The choice is always yours. Taking responsibility for your emotions also means letting go of blame. How often do we say, "They made me feel this way," as if our emotions were entirely under someone else's control? This mindset not only disempowers us, but also prevents us from growing. When you stop blaming others for how you feel, you take the first step toward emotional independence. You begin to see that your reactions are a reflection of your own inner state, not of the world around you. This awareness extends to how we treat ourselves. How often do we judge ourselves harshly, allowing guilt, regret, or shame to overshadow our happiness? Taking responsibility for your emotions means treating yourself with the same compassion you would offer a dear friend. It means forgiving yourself for past mistakes and recognizing that every emotion, even the difficult ones, is an opportunity to learn and grow. Each day, You have countless opportunities to practice this wisdom. When you feel anger rising, pause and ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to teach me? Is this reaction helping or hurting me? When sadness lingers, reflect on what it's asking you to address. By taking responsibility for your emotions, you transform them from something that happens to you into something you can work with, understand, and ultimately transcend. 6. Practice non-reaction. In a world filled with noise, haste, and provocation, the ability to practice non-reaction is a gift that few master, but all can benefit from. Non-reaction is not about ignoring what happens around you. It is about choosing how to respond with intention and grace. It is the quiet strength of knowing that not every situation demands your energy or engagement. Imagine someone criticizing you harshly in a public setting. The natural impulse might be to defend yourself, to fire back with words that match their intensity, or to let their remarks fester in your mind. But consider this. What if you simply paused, took a deep breath, and let their words pass without reacting? In that moment of stillness, you reclaim your power. Their criticism no longer defines you, and their negativity no longer controls your mood. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." This simple yet profound advice reminds us that the first reaction is often not the wisest. When faced with provocation, taking a moment to pause creates space for reflection. It allows you to ask yourself, is this worth my peace? What outcome do I want from this situation? More often than not, you'll find that non-reaction is the most powerful response. Non-reaction doesn't mean allowing others to walk over you or tolerating harm. It means discerning which battles are worth fighting and which are better left alone. It is the strength to remain calm in the face of chaos and the wisdom to choose peace over conflict. Picture a pond on a windy day. If the water reacts to every gust, it ripples endlessly, its surface never still. But when the wind dies down, the water returns to calm, reflecting the world around it with clarity. Non-reaction allows your mind to be like that pond, undisturbed by the turbulence of others' actions. This practice is especially transformative in close relationships. When a loved one says something hurtful, the instinct may be to lash out or withdraw, but non-reaction invites you to pause and consider their perspective. What might they be feeling or struggling with? By responding with patience rather than defensiveness, you create space for understanding and healing. Non-reaction also extends to the small irritations of daily life. A delayed delivery, a rude stranger, or an unkind comment on social media. Each of these moments offers a choice. Will you allow them to disrupt your peace, or will you let them pass without engagement? By practicing non-reaction, you protect your energy and preserve your calm, recognizing that not every situation deserves your attention. This art of restraint is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to your inner strength. It takes courage to rise above the noise and remain steady in the face of provocation. When you choose non-reaction, you send a powerful message, not to others, but to yourself, that your peace is not up for negotiation. In the end, non-reaction is about mastering your emotions and aligning your actions with your values. It's about choosing to live with intention rather than being swept away by the tides of anger, frustration, or fear. The more you practice this, the more you'll find that silence and stillness are not empty. They are full of strength, clarity, and resilience. And in that quiet, you will discover the unshakable peace that comes from truly knowing yourself. 7. Find joy in selflessness. As the years stretch into their later chapters, the profound truth emerges that life's deepest joys are often found not in what we receive, but in what we give. Selflessness is the quiet act of turning outward, of seeing the needs of others and responding with kindness, compassion, and love. It is not about grand sacrifices or dramatic gestures. Rather, It is about the small, daily acts of generosity that remind us of our shared humanity and our capacity to make a difference. To find joy in selflessness is to recognize that the heart grows richer not by holding on, but by letting go of time, of effort, of care. Imagine a moment when you offered a helping hand without expecting anything in return. Perhaps it was assisting a neighbor with their groceries, writing a heartfelt note to a friend, or simply lending an ear to someone who needed to be heard. Reflect on the warmth that followed, a quiet sense of fulfillment that no material reward could replicate. This is the essence of selflessness, the realization that in giving, we receive something far greater, a life imbued with meaning and connection. Selflessness is a balm for the soul, especially in a world that often seems focused on personal gain and competition. It reminds us that every act of kindness, no matter how small, creates ripples that extend far beyond what we can see. A smile shared with a stranger might brighten their day. A word of encouragement to a family member could strengthen their resolve. These moments, though fleeting, carry an enduring weight of goodness that enriches both the giver and the receiver. Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." These words are a call to action, a reminder that each new day is an opportunity to bring light into the lives of others. Selflessness doesn't require wealth or extraordinary abilities. It simply requires a willingness to see others, to recognize their struggles and joys, and to meet them with care. One of the most profound forms of selflessness is forgiveness. To forgive is to release the heavy burden of resentment and to extend grace not only to others, but also to yourself. It is not an act of weakness, but of strength. When someone wrongs you, the instinct may be to hold on to the pain, to let anger fester as a form of self-protection. But forgiveness liberates you. It frees your heart to heal and your spirit to move forward. It reminds you that everyone, including you, is imperfect and worthy of understanding. Selflessness also takes root in the relationships closest to us. Consider the quiet sacrifices made within families, staying up late to comfort a crying child, putting a loved one's needs ahead of your own, or simply being present during difficult times. These acts, though they may go unnoticed or unacknowledged, are the foundation of enduring love. They are the moments that bind us together, that remind us of the beauty of giving without expectation. As we age, selflessness becomes a legacy. The kindness we share, the wisdom we offer, and the love we give become part of the fabric of others' lives, carried forward in ways we may never witness. A thoughtful word, a moment of encouragement, or an act of generosity may ripple through generations, shaping lives in ways we can't imagine. In this way, selflessness ensures that the best parts of us live on, leaving the world a little brighter because we were here. But selflessness is not about depleting yourself for the sake of others. To give fully, you must first nurture yourself. A weary heart cannot pour into others, and true selflessness begins with self-care. When you take care of your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, you give from a place of abundance rather than sacrifice. This balance allows you to sustain your generosity and continue to enrich the lives of those around you. The joy of selflessness lies in its simplicity. It does not demand perfection, nor does it require grand achievements. It asks only for an open heart and a willingness to connect. And in giving to others, you discover that the boundaries between giver and receiver dissolve. The act of kindness becomes a shared experience, a mutual upliftment that reminds us of the profound interconnectedness of all lives. As you navigate this season of life, consider the small ways you can bring light to those around you. A kind word to a stranger, a moment of patience with a loved one, or a thoughtful gesture to someone in need. Each of these acts carries the power to transform not only their day, but also your own. In the end, selflessness is not about what you give up, but about what you gain: a sense of purpose, a connection to others, and the quiet, enduring joy of knowing that your life has touched another's. It is a reminder that true wealth is not measured in possessions, but in the love and kindness we leave behind. And in living selflessly, we find not only the meaning of life, but also its greatest reward: an unshakable sense of peace and fulfillment. The quiet strength of acceptance and grace. As we journey through life, especially in its later years, we come to realize that peace and joy are not found in striving, controlling, or holding on tightly to fleeting things. They are found in the wisdom of letting go, of expectations, of judgments, of the need to control, and in the quiet strength of acceptance, forgiveness, and selflessness. Life will always have its imperfections, its uncertainties, and its challenges. But it is in how we choose to respond to these truths that we shape the quality of our days. When you embrace life as it is, not as you think it should be, you open yourself to its beauty and resilience. When you let go of judgment, you free yourself from unnecessary burdens and foster deeper compassion for yourself and others. When you release the illusion of control, you find calm amid life's unpredictability. And when you discover the joy of selflessness, you create a legacy of love that endures far beyond the moment. These are not just philosophies to ponder, but practices to live by day, moment by moment. Each breath, each interaction, each decision is an opportunity to choose peace over conflict, understanding over frustration, and connection over isolation. By doing so, you not only transform your own life, but also bring light and warmth to the lives of those around you. In the end, what matters most is not the perfection of the life we've lived, but the love we've given, the wisdom we've shared, and the peace we've cultivated within ourselves. Every moment offers the chance to grow, to give, and to cherish this precious journey. So, embrace it fully and let your life reflect the quiet strength and boundless grace that come with the wisdom of age. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.